All right, thank you for joining us this week on the program Engineering and You. This is where we bring you the various experts in the engineering fields, thereby bringing engineering closer to you as we explore the various branches of engineering, trying to make us know the importance of engineering in our society, and in a very large extent, encourage the young ones to explore the world of engineering. My name is Miriam Usman. Remember, the program is a two-way communication. Shortly, the phone line will be open and you can call in on the program or send us messages via our social media handles, and maybe you can stand a chance to win a prize on the program. Now, this program is brought to you by Prince Yemisi Shilon, FNSC. Here's the reason why you see this program every Friday on your screen. Now, let's move straight to the question for the day. Our question for the day is, Akin is 1.7 meters tall. Motun is 7 centimeters taller than Akin. What is Motun's height in centimeters? I take that again. Akin is 1.7 meters tall. Motu is 7 centimeters taller than Akin. What's Motun's height in centimeters? Now, if you know the answer to that question, please call us or send us messages via our social media handles, and just maybe you stand a chance to win a prize on the program today. Now, our guest is ready for us today as we'll be exploring a particular topic that will interest you. Of course, I'll be telling you about my guest and the topic after this break, so stay with us. Good to know you're still with us on Engineering and You. Remember, this is where we bring you experts in the engineering fields and we explore the different types of engineering, thereby bringing the importance closer to our viewers. Now, our guest on the program today is Engineer TOYIN OYENEYE, and together we will be exploring sustainable STEM education. She is the MD, STEMSUS consultant. She's a chemical engineer with a lot of experience in cement manufacturing and sustainability management. She's the MD of STEMSUS Consulting, a firm which offers environmental, social, and corporate governance (ESG) services in the construction industry. We have strong passion that today on the program she will do justice to our topic of discussion: sustainable STEM education. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Yeah.
I, for one, feel excited that I'm not having a man on the program today. I'm not trying to be biased, but, you know, we try to preach the message that women can be better. Now, we're not just preaching it. We have a woman on the program today. And, yes, we've had women on the program today, but this is good that you are here, and we're exploring this together. Sustainable STEM. Let's talk about it.
Okay. I'm sure many people are by now, familiar with what STEM. And in case there's anybody around who doesn't know the meaning of STEM, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And
could you take that again?
Science stands for, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So, if you look at this, and you are, if you relate very closely to most students, this area is where, even if you see any student doing science, they let you feel like it's so tiring, it's so difficult, and it seems like it's also interesting to many students. But I tell you, for us to get to where we're going in this country, and even in Africa, and even in the world, because there's no how you'll be, any part of the world is having issue that somehow it doesn't go around. Because if you look at the map of the world, is a globe, it's circular. So somewhere, somehow, things shift from one place to the other. So, and why are we adding sustainability to STEM? Because sustainability is what guarantees us of the future, that we can actually manage the future. What is sustainability? Sustainability is meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. That's from Brundtland Report 1987. It's an age term that people have been using, because every time people are thinking long term, then you have to think sustainability. Sustainability is looking at performance now and performance in the future, not just for now. So, and we have three main pillars for sustainability, but one of the pillars is kind of horizontal, and because it's a kind of interactive pillar, and that's the economic pillar. But we have the vertical pillars and those are the social pillars and the environmental pillar. Social pillar, because it has to do with the society, people, human, you know, and environment is the nature, you know, the mother earth. So, and economy, it has to do with the interaction that we do among ourselves and what we try to gain from one place to the other, maybe trying to live, trying to meet our basic needs, and so many other things. Like I've put that social pillar is upholding, you know, universal human rights and meeting people's basic needs, thereby ensuring personal, labor, and cultural rights are respected, and all people are protected from discrimination. I mean, everybody can eat, everybody have shelter, they have access to, you know, to security and many things. And if any human being stand and the other human beings, there is no, you know, serious discrimination between them. Then environmental, like maintaining balance between human and nature's rate. What do I mean by that? Human and nature's rate, because as we are consuming our natural resources, using it to make this crude oil, agricultural resources, this and that, the water bodies, and so many things that we're doing, we are using it, and one way or the other, the nature has to replenish it so that it doesn't get depleted. And that's what we are talking about, environmental plan. The economic pillar is global communities maintaining their independence and have access to, you know, to social sources of livelihood available to everyone. So this is, you know, these are just the basic definition that I want to put in the mind of every listener over there. And now going further to why sustainable STEM education.
Very important.
Very, very important. We've just spoken about sustainability. Sustainable STEM education is the key to preparing learners to find success in their future careers, building skills and that extend far beyond those needed in traditional science field. Because, you know, I can just try to put an analogy. Like if you carry content, I mean, you have something, you are knowledgeable, you have a level of IQ, you must be able to express it. And expressing it means that that's the way you are able to make people around your environment and everybody feel what you carry. So, it's, you know, even these days we are talking about STEAM. And STEAM is science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. We've added art to it because we find that student learners, they get more excited and attracted to artistic expressions. And also, if you are able to put something down in an artistic way, you'll be able to communicate better to people or attract people's attention to what you're talking about. So quality STEM, you know, means that people, you know why you are learning mathematics. You know how mathematics impact the society, impact the natural environment. Like I can give, for example, I know some students listening to me will say, what is it in mathematics? For example, if you talk about ratio, and you do it in the class and your teacher is putting a lot of figures and you're wondering, I'm tired of this ratio. But if you scale it out and put it to where you are living, you find out that every time you have to share one thing, because resources are limited, and you have to quickly, that ratio helps you to quickly know what is the formula. Okay, 3%, this and that. And even if you are in commerce, you know how to share it. For example, some people, in mathematics, people do surds. And surd is talking about irrational numbers. And it's just letting us feel that for every entity, even human being, you have your rational side and you have your irrational side. And science is weighing how much of this irrational side that you have. But it's mathematical expression. People are looking at it in square root and a lot of things. Okay, for example, if you're talking about, recently my daughter was talking about this exponential expression, and we was talking about all the laws, and I was trying to let her see that, see this exponential expression. Do you see how trees grow, how their branches emerge? Do you know that this is the mathematical expression that helps you to interpret how much of branches that each tree has, there is characteristics to each tree. You see their leaves coming, some have big leaves, some have, so those are the kind of thinking and that bring about this innovative expression that you see in mathematics. And what are we talking? Engineering, technology. People are using phone, Android, and we are, using buying a lot of technology from abroad. Many times we are using cars, and we don't know how they impact us. Okay. Going global, we want to talk about why sustainable STEM education. Sustainable STEM education, it helps us to have scientific thinking for global challenges. But I don't want to even go to global. I don't want to go to global. For example, if you have a good knowledge of STEM, if you understand STEM and you want to build a house, or your parents want to build a house somewhere, and you understand what erosion is, and you look at the gradient of where your house is going to be located, you can tell your parents, Daddy, this our house will be affected by erosion. You see, flooding can come. See, the water flows from high level to low level, and you begin to think, and your parents will feel like, oh, this makes sense. Or sometimes even your basic hygiene, and maybe you use toilet, you know that if you don't clean properly, it can introduce some germs. But if you are not well grounded in STEM, you can just get sick unnecessarily because you don't even know why you should maintain good hygiene. And furthermore, we're talking about global challenges because we need innovation. Why is China where China is today? It's because they put a lot of effort into STEM education. Go and find out. They need their young ones, their youth, their children to start thinking how they can, help their society, help the environment, help, do things that bring the environment to life. Let's go to eco-friendly innovations for efficiency. We are all talking about green technologies. Oh, we should not use too much of fossil fuel because of pollution, climate changes, and a lot of these things. It is because of our knowledge in STEM that drive it. I'm talking to young ones over there that are wondering why. There was a school I went to recently, and when it was time for further maths, the class was almost empty. Even the few ones that were in class were wondering why they were doing it for them. I will soon drop it because
that is actually a lot.
Yes, they're saying I will soon drop it because I don't even need it. Some don't even choose the career they really like because they think that this subject I want to avoid it. And if I must go for this career, I'll go for this subject. So I'm not doing. Those are the kind of things. But you find out that these are young minds that need, to be well nurtured with STEM knowledge and skills. Even people that drop out in junior secondary school or after primary school. Remember those days when our fathers go stop at standard 6? That's their standard 6 because it's very grounded and because it's well supported. You find that it helps them to even go far. Some even use their standard 6 to get jobs in multinational, and they continue on the job learning from there.
All right.
So environmental consciousness and conservation. Environmental consciousness and conservation help us to know how what we are doing or what we want to do, affect our environment. Sometimes, if you want to build a house somewhere, you look at the nature. Oh, these animals or this forest, we have to go down because we want to do this. How is this forest helping the environment? How is it giving us that fresh air, that habitat for the animals? And you know, how is it going to help us if we remove all these forests and we put an industry? What are the gains? What are the wins? So those are the kind of thinking that begin to come to us. And STEM education plays a vital role in producing a qualified workforce. See, doing science or going for STEM does not stop you from becoming a lawyer. It doesn't stop you from becoming a journalist. It doesn't stop you from becoming whatever you want to be. It only helps you to be able to, you know, it only gives you that scientific, you know, content to be able to express that career that you still want to pursue. And if you look at countries abroad or advanced countries, you find that people do like 2 lines of courses together so that they'll be able to, they'll be more impactful in whatever, you know, endeavor they go for. So talking about social and economic impact, we can talk about that, you know, till tomorrow, because we are currently feeling it in this country. And we know what it means when we are battling with inflation here and there and so many things. Why are we doing that? Because, you know, when we look at our production rate, comparing it with the consumption rate, we see that we are consuming more than we are producing. And that's why our currency is going back and forth and so many things. I don't want to go too much. I just want to stay on education. And I want people to understand why STEM education will help them to be, you know, to fulfill their destiny more than when they just go on one side of education. So preparing future leaders. Preparing future leaders, if somebody becomes whatever, maybe senator, governor, or even a council chairman, I tell you, you'll be a better council chairman if you have a STEM foundation, maybe in your secondary school. And maybe in the higher social, you even go for a second degree. Because everything you see, you know what and why and how that thing will become in the nearest future. And so that helps you to take more meaningful decisions that help the environment to grow and that put us in a better, you know, sustainable condition.
All right, let me quickly inform our viewers that the phone line is open. You can call in and ask our guest questions on the program today. And don't forget, we also have our question for the day. So yes, keep your calls coming in and your messages on our social media handles. Now let's move forward.
Okay. So, for example, I also want to make, give an example. The way people, sometimes, you know, in this country, we value religion. It's part of our core values. But there are some things that we take too far in religion because of our little knowledge or ignorance in STEM. I will give that, for example, maybe if you are well grounded or rooted in STEM, if you have a very strong foundation in STEM, there are some things that you just know that you don't need to pray for. You just need to do this and do that, and that is done. For example, also, we can talk about vocation. If somebody has a good STEM foundation and is maybe a baker, you will understand your ingredients beyond just ordinary flour or whatever, because you know the content, the scientific content of that ingredient. All your reactive baking powder, what is acting in your baking powder, why it's important that that powder should not be more than the proper recipe, I mean the proportion according to the recipe, you know, and why you should balance your meals, why you should, and how you should balance it. You know what is lacking. You understand so many things, and you can better manage yourself or manage your society. I'll even give an example. Today we are talking that mechanics, we have a lot of quack, these people and that. Why? Because many people that find themselves in this technical vocation, they don't have STEM background. They don't have STEM background. And
are you hearing me fine now?
Yes, thank you for calling us.
Yes. Now, I'm so much interested in this STEM. And my question is, because I have a lot of observations. My question is this. Has it been concentrated into the school system?
Good. Nice question.
Or is it just at the private level?
Thank you so much, Adewale, for your question. Did you get that? Yes, I was going to ask you that. Has this thing been introduced to the school system?
It has been introduced. and is currently running, but the awareness is not enough. And this question even shows that the awareness is not enough. If the awareness is enough, this question will not come. And it might also not just be awareness enough. You know, sometimes we can talk, we can do mouth talk, but the implementation, the resources that, you know, that will mobilize the implementation might not be sufficient. So those are the aspects. For example, let's talk about the teachers. We have a caller.
Sherry is calling us from Abeokuta. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I want to answer your question for the day.
Okay, Sherry, what's your answer?
187 centimeters.
180 what?
Yes. 187 centimeters.
187 centimeter. Please tell us the last digits of your phone number and we'll let you know if you're correct on the program.
Ma'am?
What's the last digit of your phone number?
78, ma'am.
78.
No, 50, 78, 60.
78, 60. Very well, Sherry. All right, so we'll let you know if you're correct or not on the program. Just stick with us.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, thank you for calling. Now, in addition to that particular question Adewale asked, for people to get the awareness for STEM, teachers need to know about this, people need to know about this. So how do teachers or organizations get this understanding or the education about it before passing it down? For instance, how did you know about STEM before you can talk about it on the program today?
Okay, I know about STEM. First of all, I read engineering, and again, I belong to Nigeria Society of Engineers, where STEM is part of, you know, the mandate that we are pushing. So, and also, I have flair for education, and I'm also close to schools because we have to go to schools to mobilize them and talk about this thing. So I realized that there are some clubs, all these chess clubs, STEM clubs, and the rest that they do, but STEM should be experiential.
Okay, let's hold on that. Gabriel, thank you for joining us.
Yes, the answer is 187 centimeters or 1.87 meters.
Oh, Gabriel, you have to pick one answer.
It's 187 centimeters.
Very well. Please tell us the last digit of your phone number. If you're correct, we'll let you know before the program ends.
Last four digits, 81, 84.
31, 34. 81, 64. Thank you so much, Gabriel, for calling. Okay. All right, I think we lost Gabriel. Thank you, Gabriel, for calling. Now, we're still talking about training teachers could receive to promote the education around STEM. And you made mention of you belong to the society.
Yeah, you asked me how I got to know about STEM. So, and there are courses, even in the higher institutions, that focus mainly on STEM education. Yes, there are STEM education courses, especially even in the UK, because they are giving STEM education that kind of focus that if that's the children or the young learners are bringing up, it will make them to be more inquisitive and more curious.
All right, I really think we have to go now. Time is now. Please turn down the volume of your TV set. The answer to the question on the program today, is 187 centimeter. So we had Sheyi, the first caller, and Sheyi got it very correctly. So we have our winner on the program today. Now let me say that a particular number will send you a text message. So let me tell Sheyi to call this particular number. And don't forget, Sheyi, we got your number, so you cannot call us if you are not Sheyi. Now, Sheyi, please write this number down: 070-3161-1497. 070-3161-1497. We want to thank everyone for calling on the program today, and for our viewers, thank you for watching Engineering and You, and of course our guest on the program today. Engineering and You is brought to you from Prince Yemisi Shilon, FNSC, is the reason why you watch Engineering and You every Friday by 5:30. Until I see you next week, this is where we bring you experts in the engineering world to show you the importance of engineering in our everyday lives. Until I see you next week, bye for now.